Yeah, we find her, the beautiful girl we've been missing. We wanna have her kissing. We find her, now we in love. Say Gosso, the remix.
DMB, Tux Bites, remix.
Now if I had to lose you like a bad phone connection, I'd change my game to get a better reception. Sit back, let's start this interaction. Don't fight the feelings, just a chain reaction. Your heart won't give you the wrong instructions. Like my GPS, yes I got the right direction. We gotta merge together like a road intersection. Last stop is gonna be my love and affection. I ain't like the mother dudes, they wanna call you shorty, but I'ma call you a beautiful girl. I took your picture home, my mama saw it, she's a very, very beautiful girl. I wanna put you in my video, cause you're so beautiful. You're a beautiful girl. So when you hear us on your radio, turn up your stereo. It's beautiful girl.
Gotta find a shorty, what's worth of a lady. It's nice but maybe doesn't look like 40. It's taking a little time. I wasn't seeing no signs, any traces of my baby. Who's gonna be my baby? But I thought I'm gonna take my time. But then it took a long fine eye. I saw a shorty passing by. She's got this very pretty smile. It was right at the pen station. I tried to make a conversation, holding her arms, feeling so charmed. I felt the sensation. It's been a while that I've been trying to find a beautiful girl. Now I realize I found me a beautiful girl. She's a model, she's so fine. I just wanna take it by. Beautiful girl. Sparkling eyes, a killing eye. I found me a beautiful girl.
My wish came true when I saw you, girl. God must have blessed me with your beauty, girl. Looking so right from your head to your toe. Shaped like a cocoa bottle with a smile of a queen. My queen to be, you my destiny. Got a body of a goddess with your beauty. I'm impressed and I'm never in distress. Come on over and be mine. Been searching for a man and now all the cats keep looking to mine. With a sexy walk and a sexy talk. She must be from the planet called the sexy world. I know I ain't tripping, better yet I'm thinking put a ring on the finger. We look good together. Take your place in my heart with your beauty. I'ma say that I'll never turn away. Who would think I'm in love?
Such the way she smiles at me just really makes me weak. The way she speaks to me just really make me go so weak. Keep staring in her eyebrows. All I kept on saying is wow. Your beauty shines and breeze at night. All I really want in my life. Oh yeah. It's been a while that I've been trying to find a beautiful girl. Fine brown eyes. I found me a beautiful girl. She's my model, she's so fine. I just wanna take it. Beautiful girl. Sparkling eyes, killing tight. I found me a beautiful girl. Yeah, beautiful girl. What beautiful girl, yeah. Beautiful girl.
Damn. Money. You seen her? Hot Ice. Have you seen her? LP. Have you seen her? I'ma go over to Tux Bites. I know you've probably seen her. He has a lot of beautiful girls with him. Tux. It's DMB, baby. Look.
Beautiful.
I look for a while, but I can't seem to find a beautiful girl so I can make her mine. Time after time I've been searching for a while, but every girl I meet never seems worthwhile. What can I do? I pray to God for an answer. I feel pains in my heart like cancer, and when I find her, I'm gonna romance her. Lace several presents and gifts, call me Santa Claus. I make a heartbeat pause. That's my girl, homeboy, not yours. The girl of my dreams, she's more than I ever thought. Show me ass and culture, I think I'm getting punked. She's what I really want, so I'ma go get her. Since I'm a go getter, you know I'm gon' get her. And I will give her the world, anything for my beautiful girl.
Psych. Ooh. It's been a while that I've been trying to find a beautiful girl. Fine brown eyes. I found me a beautiful girl. She's my model, she's so fine. I just wanna take it. Beautiful girl. Sparkling eyes, killing
what I've been missing. I miss all your hugs, your touching and kissing. Make love on the floor, the couch in the kitchen. One loving up, we done enough.
Man of prestige. Ha! Now this guy win. Now you win. Now you win today. Now you win. Now you win. I agree. Man of prestige. Now man you be.
I'm sure some people will be jealous now the way I talk about Ola. But I have learned a lot from him. That's why I keep telling you to follow him. If you don't follow Man of Prestige, now you know.
I think we should be good now. For some weird reason, let's see. All right, we're good now. For some reason, I don't know what went out, but we're back. Shout out to all of you watching me live, all 9 or 8 or 7 of you. Natu, how you did? I hope you're doing well. Welcome back. Welcome back. So you probably did not hear anything I said before, but somehow everything went out. Shout out to Gabi, shout out to Natu, shout out to D-Love. Welcome back. We have a very, very big show today. I promise you. Oh my God, can you guys hear me now? Just let me know. I've tested it, it's fine, but let me know that you can hear me. Oh, wow. Yesterday was a hell of a show. I wasn't sure if I was going to come back today, okay? I was not sure if I was going to come back, at least not today, maybe tomorrow. And to be frank with you, I did schedule this show for tomorrow before. But I was like, nah. We got to keep showing up. At least for the happy hours, okay? So this is the Prestige Happy Hour. We used to do the Prestige Hour. It's now called the Prestige Happy Hour. So you can count on me being here from Monday through Thursday at least, okay? Everything else, we don't know. Outside of the special shows, special guests or anything like that. All right, but right now as it stands, what we're going to be testing is Monday through Thursday happy hour, 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. That seems like the time that works for us, for me to tape the shows, for me to kind of like wind down, hang out with you guys, because I've been working all day whenever you see me, you know. So, but yes, D-Lo say yesterday's show was serious and funny at the same time. I know. But believe it or not, we're continuing that same story today. I got something special that we should talk about. So for some reason, hopefully the audio is not this bad everywhere. All right, good. So audio matches in my mouth. I just want to make sure because I do see a delay on my monitor here. All right, so let's do some quick house rules. This is Men of Prestige. What we do here is we'll talk about relationships. We use trendy topics to talk about relationships. We extract lessons, particularly from a self-power, social, seduction, attraction, and emotional intelligence standpoint. We do have books. If you haven't downloaded the books, you can download the book. Well, one book, sorry. There's one book available right now. GetMyMarriageBack.com. You can download that book right there. LoveAndPrestige.com. And this one is coming out in about, what's today? 13th? About 17 days. Okay, this one will be live everywhere. And we're kind of like in the middle of pre-launch right now. So that's why you've noticed we've been bringing some fantastic guests to come and add to the conversation for us. All right, so we're all in pre-launch right now. So, but thank you. I appreciate you for being here. Okay, hit that like button, share, subscribe. Right now, I am already missing 6 likes. If you don't mind, hit that like button already. All right, so we can get into today's stories. We got a few stories that we want to cover today. All right, so with that being said, I'll be right back.
Beautiful girl, sparkling eyes, killing thing. I find a beautiful girl.
Girl, it's your love that I've been missing. I miss all your hugs, your touching and kissing. Make love on the floor, the couch in the kitchen. One love enough, we done enough.
All right, great. Welcome back. As a warm-up, the first story I want to cover is it's a guy that his name is Anthony O'Neill. I guess he's diving into relationship topics now. You know, he's also a church boy, Jesus boy type of deal. 30 something, never been married before. He's been engaged before. All right. But let me go ahead and share my screen. I wanted to use that as a warm-up today. All right. Just keep in mind, however, that we do have Brother Ben here on December 16th in about 4 days' time. Okay. So Brother Ben is going to be hanging out with us. So make sure you're here to come and support us in the conversation. On 17th, Sunday, we're going to have my friends, Lady and Kenny. We're going to have Auntie B on December 20. That's Wednesday, next Wednesday. And we're going to have Sheon on Saturday, December 23rd. And I do have a special guest after that, but I'll announce that later. All right. But for now, let's just talk about Anthony O'Neill really quickly. Let's see. I'm going to share my screen. Boom. There you go. All right. So this video right here, it's a 30-minute video. Let me see what he's talking about. How about that? Okay, and we'll take it from there. All right, it's an ad playing right now. I just saw the topic. I thought it might be interesting. Let's see what he's saying.
Anthony O'Neill, before we get to today's show, man, I have a quick announcement to share with you that I'm areas over there to where I could really learn more about my culture, more about our people. And I didn't want to go over there by myself. I said, hey, let me open this up to other people who would love to go see the motherland for themselves as well. So if you want to join me on October 17th through the 27th,
here we go.
For something, if it's bringing stress and bondage.
Shout out to Anthony O'Neill. I would like to have a conversation with him
Why
someday.
are you still striving for something if it's bringing stress and bondage into your life?
Yeah.
And you're right. I see so many people saying I'm a girl boss, I'm a girl CEO. And while I understand the concept,
Yeah.
I understand the concept. And I may get some.
Hey, Mo
let me
Fresh,
fix
good to
my
see you.
I may get some pushback on this one. I'm learning.
What's going
'cause I
on,
done said
Mario?
some
It's good to
things I'm
see
like,
you.
oh Lord, I could have said that better. I understand the concept of being a girl boss because they're trying to promote, hey, entrepreneurship, ownership. But I don't want to marry a boss because I'm not an employee. You know what I'm saying? So like, I really want to be connected to someone who is really building something, but it's like we're working together. Huh? That's interesting.
I want to, though, for there to be space for duality, right?
Ooh.
Like, I want there to be space for me to be a girl boss.
Yes.
And be with a man who's also a boss, and it not cause conflict, right? Because while I'm a girl boss in my professional life, it doesn't mean that I don't know how to show up as the soft, feminine, etc. You know, things that you need as a man. So I don't want men to be off-put by women who are girl bosses, who have those titles rightfully, and show up that way, like I show up very dominant and aggressive professionally, right? I think personally, people who know me see that
All right, so the reality is that it is putting off a lot of men, okay? And a lot of the response has been, you're insecure. All right? So So it's putting off a lot of men. Men being outspoken about not wanting a boss chick is also putting off women because they're like you insecure, because women generally also are not attracted to insecure men. Insecure men in the sense of they see you, gentlemen, as insecure. Not that you agree. I understand you won't agree that it's insecure. As a matter of fact, I don't care if you agree or not. Whatever you think, you're right.
You're right.
Right? So you're right. However, if the people you're trying to interact with, whoever you're selling your product, your market to, if they see you as insecure, that becomes the reality of what you have to deal with. So like I said, ladies, first of all, he doesn't want, he quote unquote sees the idea, he sees, before he even interacts with you at all, he sees the idea of a boss chick as stressful, as all of these other negative things, masculine, before he gets to a place where he concludes like, you know what, I don't want to be an employee, which is like, to me, it's like, you know. Now, the era I'm coming from, this is a non-issue, okay? But you're not marrying me because I'm taking, the man you're marrying is becoming an issue, right? So when the man speaks out about it, like he is right now, the first response is insecure men, and that's a turn off for the ladies. So if you're looking around you and you're seeing a bunch of single people and they can't figure out how to get together, they're still having sex. I'm just talking about long term, right? Now you're understanding some of the issues here, like it's like pulling teeth. But yeah, that's what's going on. D-Law says, the showing up aggressive has always confused me. You don't have to show up as aggressive. You show up as competent. No one wants an aggressive boss self. Exactly. So, and I like that you use the word competent, right? But before they even give themselves any chance, right? Before, just the moment somebody is labeled a boss chick, or they smell the idea of a boss chick or anything like that, the guards are up, right? Everybody's trying to protect themselves, right? So they can't interact until the nature kicks in, which is Konji is a bastard. When it's time to do the Kira, people do find a way to get to that. But that can only last for so long because you're going to be around this person and they're going to either show the insecure energy or you show the boss chick energy. And that's, with the help of social media, it's not working out well. So what do we do with that? Wait a second, let me finish playing what he's saying.
It can be another side of me.
Right.
And I appreciate that. I want those things to exist. So two things can be true at the same time.
When I walked in the studio this morning, first thing I said, feminine and she run things. Okay. That's the very first thing, you know what I'm saying? Like you have that feminine energy. I mean, y'all, I wish we could show her shoes. We can't show them shoes. Shoes is on fire. Like this is, I'm like, okay, so very soft, but it's like, yo, I'm a boss too.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
And that's scary, huh?
It's hard. And I don't know how we got over here, y'all. This is weird. But we're going to stay over here just for a little bit. We're going to get to this back and forth because she has so much wisdom on really blackness and entrepreneurship and really equity in the game. But do you think it's hard for girl bosses, girl CEOs to really to turn off for their man?
I don't.
To turn off for their man?
I think it's similar to what you said, right? When you said like it's hard.
Anyway, before she talks, let me just tell you, if it's something that has to be turned off deliberately from a cerebral place, it's fake. Quilly work. Okay? If you have to turn it off, if it's not just the natural experience that's happening already, which is again, this, it can't, anything that looks like you're going to intentionally turn things, switch things on and off, it's fake. It's just not who you are. And you know what's gonna last the longest? You, whoever you are, for real, is going to show its face at some point, because in real life you will get triggered. You're going to be placed in a position of pressure, in a position where you have to protect yourself, and guess what comes out at that point in time? Your natural good old self, right? So even the languaging already is like, oh, can you really turn it off? That man is already coming from a place of he's scared, he's afraid, he has fear, And you know what happens with fear, right? You're going to attract what you fear the most, right? It's such a miraculous, weird, twisted way. You're always going to attract what you fear the most. I'm not sure how to help you comprehend that, but just think about it, right? You will always attract what you fear the most, because your mind is everything. It's like, I don't know. Mario says they like extremes and titles: boss chick, pampered housewives, aggressive, soft, masculine, feminine, so exhausting. That's a good point. That is a fantastic point. You know, life is everything about life. The reality is somewhere in the middle. It's never some extreme black and white, right or wrong, anything. You know why? Because you will exhaust yourself. You're not capable of sustaining whatever that is that social media is painting a picture of. It's not doable. You know, the best thing you can do, like I always say, is work on yourself and show up as your authentic self, and somebody's gonna like that. Why? Because it shows out with confidence. Confidence is sexy, right? And everybody wants to be a part of that, you know. But yeah, good point, Marriott. Hit that like button, share, subscribe. We're just getting started, okay?
Hard to be in alignment and in your purpose and not be successful, right? Or produce revenue. I think it's the same thing. I think that it's hard to be around a man or your partner, whoever your partner is, right? And that be your person, and you not want to soften, and you not want to fall into that person, and you not want to show up for them. I think that's really hard. I think if you're struggling with showing up for your partner or being less aggressive or dominant or whatever you don't want to be, I think it might be because there's a lack of alignment there.
I agree with that. There is a lack of alignment, but I don't like the word soften. Okay, what is hard to do is not to be yourself. That's extremely hard to not be yourself. Okay, and yourself is a function of the work you've been doing on yourself, self-development, your background, your temperament, your personality, like 2,000 other things. Okay, but the only thing you can really control is self-development, right? You continue to work on yourself. I think it's hard not to be yourself, ultimately, whatever yourself is on that day, right? But soften, I don't like that word. All right, that sounds like, again, somebody faking it, right? And they're not sustainable. No matter how you try to, you can do with religion, you can do with, I don't like that word. Okay, you might even say, hey, that word is but it's reality. I can soften myself. Like, the idea is it sustainable? Is it good for long term, right? Can you keep doing it, right? What if you get to a point and you're like, well, I just want to be myself? Well, guess what we all want to be? We want to be ourselves, right? So now the other thing is, that the environment good for you? Does it feel safe enough for you to want to be yourself? Which is really what we want, yourself, right? Is the environment, does it feel safe and secure enough for you, even as a man, right? Sometimes it doesn't feel safe and secure enough. And with social media and all of these extreme ideologies, it definitely does not feel safe. You want to, sometimes, because you're desperate, you might want what you want, but let me put the mic closer because somebody's making unnecessary noise. I don't know if you guys can hear it. But yeah, you might, but nah, it doesn't work, you know.
And we don't want to face that reality, right? Like, we want to make things work, like, and then we complain our way through relationships. Well, just like business, you got to know when to stop. Like, you got to know when to walk away and say, like, you know what, this person isn't allowing me to be my best self, and not even my best self, but my truest self. Like, I think I've been in relationships too, right, where I wasn't my truest self.
Because of him?
I don't want to say that.
Okay, I had to answer that question.
I think that's unfair.
Like, if I can't be feminine, I mean,
it's not necessarily him, but the environment, the dynamic of the relationship. We don't have to blame anybody. Again, part of what I'm trying to bring to this conversation is that just avoid the word, anything that looks like blaming, shaming, tactics. Like, those things don't work. We don't get to the true sense of what's going on when you have to. No, it's not necessarily because of him. But there's something about the dynamics that they've created when they came together. It doesn't make her want to be her true self, wherever that is. And we don't have to worry about whose fault is it. You just have to see it for what it is, and then you can adjust accordingly if it's doable. But it's not sustainable to stay in the funk just because you don't want to blame somebody, or just because you need to blame somebody. Either way, it doesn't work, you know. Let's continue.
No, I'm not saying it's definitely not that. It's not a blame thing, right? It's not because
not a
I'm
blame
not being
thing.
my truest
Word.
self because of him.
Yeah.
I'm just not being my truest self, period. And I need to be reflective enough to recognize that.
Reflective.
And
I
recognize
like that word.
this is not the partner that I can be with that allow me to settle into exactly who I want to be and how I want to be.
Yes.
So this partnership doesn't work.
Yes.
It is not that he is inadequate, he is anything other than amazing.
Yeah.
This just isn't the right partnership. Right?
The
And that happens in
partnership.
business and life and love
The
and all sorts of
partnership.
relationships. I think in love it just gets a little bit convoluted, right? Because emotions get involved and it's a little bit harder for us to
Yeah.
reconcile.
Emotions
But
don't
I
be your
think we
mates.
need to. Because you also thrive differently when you love well. I think you also show up differently to the world and for your business.
You know, I think
wonder
out of
who she
all
is.
the
Where is
ladies,
she?
no disrespect. Out of
I
all
can't
the
see
ladies
the
who've
name.
been on my show, I think you've worded that probably the best way that men can receive that.
Angel
You know, 'cause you was like, hey, man, if
Gregorio.
we're not aligned, it's not just you, but neither one of us can
Yeah.
show up and be
Yeah.
our true, authentic self.
Yep. And he's
So-
probably feeling that too.
Same.
Right? Yep. And you have enough respect for your partner to recognize that we should amicably walk away from this so that we can both remain intact because we're two amazing people separately. It just doesn't work well together.
Being a successful black woman who loves our people, what would you say? And correct me if I'm wrong in your opinion. I don't think we've seen, in my almost 40 years of living, I don't think I've seen in my 20s black sisters going this hard in the business world. They've always were educated.
Anyway, let me say some things to this before we round up. Let's just skip it right there. You know, apparently she's the founder of the Spice Suite. Is not only thriving in her own. Let's see what this says. The Spice Suite Dream Incubator. Okay, she's just a businesswoman, I guess. All right, so she's definitely some type of boss chick. Okay, but clearly he doesn't mind, and that's the point. Okay, maybe you shouldn't. You should just be open, man. That's the only way around, because the reality is that we're releasing a book called The Number One Red Flag, and you will find out once you read this book that it's not what you think, okay, but it's about red flags, right? But the red flags has become the idea of the red flag has become an epidemic, okay? It's become an epidemic, and that's something that we need to start paying attention to. And everything in life has two sides to it. There's two sides to everything in life, right? And there's nothing in life that's absolutely good. There's nothing in life that's absolutely bad. Literally, okay? It's just if you're going to, if it becomes absolute of any one of those two, it's based off of how you use it, right? Your utility of whatever we're talking about. That's what it comes down to, you know. Even when they say, some people will say humans are inherently bad. I'm like, no, that's so false, right? That's false. Okay. Now, are we just inherently good? No. Human beings are weirdos. You know, when they get caught up in their emotions, yeah, it gets very funky. You know, we hurt people, right? When people get hurt, they will either intentionally or unintentionally hurt other people. But they hurt other people is a given, right? And it's very important to note if it's intentionally or not intentionally, so that you can also respond in a way that's optimal, that's best for you as a human being. You know, but that's Anthony O'Neill. I knew that he was clickbaiting a little bit, but that's reality. These people are facing this reality. They're struggling with this reality of, I'm scared of boss chicks. I'm scared of insecure men, before they get to know them. And I don't know if you caught the answer. The answer is, get to know people. They don't have to become your husband or your wife. Just get to know people. You might just be surprised. You let your guards down, particularly emotional guards, right? Let them down. Just keep an open mind and get to know people. And you might find out that they're useful to you in more ways than just romantic. They might just be your romantic partner. But the assumptions are too much. The assumption, gentlemen, you can't afford to assume, to make assumptions. It's just wrong. You know, not only is it wrong, you're going to create all types of wrong results. All right. So that was Anthony O'Neill right there. I thought I should cover some of his topic. I like some of his conversations he's been talking, but I think he's struggling. That's just my opinion. I don't know him, right? I shouldn't make assumptions too, right? I should get to know him, right? Like the same thing goes to me, right? Exactly. But let me know what your thoughts are, gentlemen. Are you scared of boss chicks, or you just know that they are terrible as wives? Ladies, insecure men in general, especially the ones that don't want to deal with boss chicks. What are your thoughts? Is it just insecurity, or there's a real conversation to be had here? It's a question for you, all right? Let's move on to the next topic. I'll be right back.
It's your love that I've been missing. I miss all your hugs, your touching and kissing. Make love on the floor, the couch in the kitchen. One love enough, we done enough.
All right, welcome back. Chinye, how far? I see you. There is this news that I want to cover. Let me see. There's a let me check my messages real quick. Jonathan, remember we're talking about Jonathan, some like that. Jonathan, Jonathan Majors, the new fiance to MAEGAN Gooden. Yeah, that one, that guy right there. There you go. Let me share this with you guys so you guys can see. There you go. Add to the stage. There you go. This guy right here. You remember we were talking about him some few months ago. So just before I came on the show, there's some audio that leaked. I was like, let's listen to it together. Okay. All right. Not to say boss lady right here. Audio. All right. Let's talk about Jonathan Major. I'm just gonna play this and then we'll see if there's anything in it. But remember, this was about DV, right? This was about DV. He's been accused of DV, and there's a case going on in New York City, and every other day there's some updates coming out. And it's easy in the beginning of this conversation to say, hey, this Oyibo person want to drag a black man, But for me, I'm like, that's that Oyibo person that you were in love with at some point. So slow down. Let's tell us the rest of the story. Stop the cap. All right. So we're going to get into it. Let's see. All right. So I don't know if you can see. Let me make it bigger. Make it bigger. Do you see that there's some kind of scuffle going on? All right, thank God there's no audio. All right, wait, let's go back there. Boom, aha. No audio, but I don't know if you can see that clearly, but it's like two people dragging themselves out of a SUV. There's camera footage on the street. It looks like the street of New York City. And she's chasing after him. He's running down the streets. Where is he running to? What is going on? Jesus Christ. Okay, another video caught them. This is you behave like this in the middle of New York City. There'll be a ton of cameras that will catch you. She almost ran into. Look. She's chasing him down the street, multiple blocks. It looked like. This is in the middle of the city. Wait. I don't want to push it forward yet. He's still running. Another block. Those are my bikes. I love riding those bikes. The city bikes. All right. You guys want to watch that again? You guys care to watch that again? I'll let it roll again. Okay. Again, this is a case of DV. There's something I've been trying to say for the past few days. Woman called me Leno because I don't want to be offensive. We always support the victims, but we also tend to think the victim is always the woman first. We have that tendency, right? Like long before we actually hear the full story. Okay. Mario said, "Well, we're Meiji using boats, running in the middle of the city, New York City for that matter, right? Whatever is going on here, It's not normal. These are crazy people, right? All right, and let's not forget, this is who our beloved, what's her name again? I'm even forgetting her name now. Megan Good has decided to be with. Now, he didn't do anything, he's just running. We don't know what he did yet, okay? But there's something about him that attracts this kind of volatile human being, right? There's something about him. She said, oh Lord, the one that wanted his former white girlfriend to act like Michelle Obama and a corrector Scott Kingsley. We'll get to that. We'll get to that in a second. I haven't listened to it, but I saw some kind of headline about that. But yeah, this is what it look when they say DV to you, the average DV situation. This is what it look like, and we're going to talk a little bit about that. Okay, the majority of the DV situation is not necessarily one side; it's both sides. Anger issues, they've engaged, they don't know how to back off of each other, they've lost, they've snapped. Okay, and yes, of course, we're probably going to hear one of the stories, and there are evil people that are just outrightly evil, and they will be the only one beating the other person. Those exist as well. Okay, I'm just saying, it starts with toxicity in a relationship. It doesn't start as somebody just beating, just being violent at somebody else. Okay, it starts with toxic conversations, not knowing how to back off of a situation that's clearly not serving you, right? Before it gets too late, right? And there is such a thing as snapped. Okay, and that's not excuses, but it exists. Why would you want to wait to find out if it's been excused or not? Why would you want to wait to find out if it's justified or not? Who cares if it's justified or not? What we're saying is don't find yourself in this situation. It's that don't tolerate anybody calling you out of your name, just even when you're dating or relationship. How much more? Like, don't tolerate. Like, it's not even a matter of tolerate. You shouldn't go as far as thinking it's you should, like, your system should reject that already. That's what we're trying to say here, you know. So Mario said Mega's check better clear this month. Wahala. They said the driver testified and said he was the aggressor. Listen, there's more to the story. I'm going to get to it right now. So we're not making any conclusions yet. All I know is that they're both crazy at this point in time, because why would she be chasing him down the street? For what? Anyway, so let's get back to, let me see here. So that's Jonathan Major and what's her name? Grace Jabari. Car scuffle in New York City video has been released. Okay, when you're scared of someone, you don't chase them. Yeah, so some people are concluded already. We cannot conclude off of the fact that he's being chased yet. Okay, because again, remember the snapped part, right? The person who snapped is not necessarily the person who is chasing. Okay, it's not necessarily that. Okay, the only thing we can conclude here is that they're both crazy. They were crazy in love. Okay, when you're scared of someone, you don't chase them. Even if he has your phone, you let them keep it until they return it. Chasing, that's true in that moment at least, but we can't conclude that that's what ended up happening. These black men are never going to get it. Leave those women from the mayor community alone. Shake my head. Does this go both ways? People fall in love. People love what they love, right? Yeah, right? Yeah. Oh, no, man. I don't know if they will hear you if they're in love. You got this shit, but can't find the video of my son in the block. This person is protesting here. Anyway, so I said, I wonder if this what my mom meant when she said, don't be out here running behind no man. Wow. Anyway, let me leave that alone for now. Let's go to some of the other topics that's going on here. Let me see. I gotta refresh. What is going on with this thing today? Okay, let me see. Let's go back to my saved. Let's see, because there's more to this story that were dropped. I think there was some audio too that he was saying something about he wanted this girl to be like Obama and Coretta King. I'm like, what was he cheating or something? What was this talking about exactly? Okay, all right, let's see if we can find it. Okay, I think I found it. There you go. Uh-oh, I gotta go to, okay, all right, we gotta go to TMZ. Pardon me, hang out with me. All right, hang in there. Okay, 911. Okay, so there was also the big S word. All right, so let's go in order. I'll come back to that. Okay, we're here on TMZ now. Let me share my screen with you. Okay, I could just leave it like that. We might be able to hear the audio. Let's see if we can hear something. Okay. Okay.
From the TMZ Live, we break the stories the world wants to talk
All
about
right.
first. Accurate news and enthralling stories from the heart of Hollywood straight to you.
Joining us right now, Dr. Dre. I'm still buzzing from it a little bit. You know, I'm kind of hungover, Harvey.
Mm-hmm.
New York City 911, you need police, fire, medical.
Hey, how are you? It's medical? Attempted suicide, I think.
What is the location? What happened exactly, do you know?
No, I don't know. But she's unconscious. She's naked from the,
Oh, the lady was the aggressor.
she has
Gotcha,
sweatshirt
gotcha.
on. She's my ex-partner. We broke up. I came back. She sent me text messages insinuating as much. I stayed in a hotel last night. I came home this morning. I banged on the door. I've been at the apartment for about 40 minutes now. I banged at the door. I couldn't get in. I finally went downstairs and asked the doorman to help us. And they let me in via the handyman.
All right.
Yeah. She's 30 years old. White, female.
She's 30 years old.
All right. Does she suffer from anything prior to?
Or
no, she have a mental condition or history?
I would maybe say so. She has a history with...
What's her name?
Her name is Grace Caitlin Natasha Jabari.
Grace. All right. Do you know what she did or what she took, or you don't know?
No, I don't know. I just know she's unconscious.
All right. No problem, sir.
Yeah.
And I'm going to get you over to the EMS. Do not hang up, all right? They're already en route, okay?
Okay.
All right. Stay on the line. Hold on.
Hello, caller?
Hey, how are you?
Hi, this is...
Yes, sir. Right over the Whole Foods.
And the patient's breathing?
Oh, yes, sir. She is.
Okay, is she awake?
No.
This is Penthouse Diaz and David?
Yes, sir. Penthouse Diaz and David.
Okay, you're with...
Let the linemen know that you guys are on their way. So,
okay. So they're going to be there as soon as possible.
Okay.
Obviously, if you could
What
just
should I do? What should I do?
If you could just make sure the door's open, and when you get upstairs, she didn't fall and hit her head, anything that you know of, right?
No, I think I saw a cut behind her ear.
Okay.
Yeah.
How old is she?
She's 30 years old.
Okay. So if you could just, when you get back upstairs, we just want you to keep an eye on her breathing. If she wakes up, we don't want to give her anything to eat or drink. Like I said, they're already responding.
I think they just walked in.
The ambulance crew?
Okay. I think this is the ambulance crew.
Is it the fire department?
I called them on with the guys. I
think that's PD.
Yeah.
That's the police
Hello, sir. That's the police?
I don't know what's going on. She's conscious, but she tried to. Yeah. So, folks, will you just keep that confidential? Fellas, this way.
So you're speaking to the cops?
Yeah, I'm assuming this is either our guys. I mean,
is it the police?
Girlfriend. I just came back home. Girlfriend.
Probably. Let me see if they have the location. Sorry.
I'm leaving. I just need to phone and take a bite out. There's no note. Just knowing what happened. With this way? Yeah, I finally got into the apartment.
All right, so I'm not sure what I heard. I know you guys were listening. Did I hear something to the effect of, did she pass out or something? Well, I think I heard some. I think they asked if she's awake. He said no, but she's breathing. Did she pass out? These crazy people. Anyway, the report here says Jonathan Majors 911 call attempted S. Oh, she attempted the big S. Okay. Jonathan Majors thought Grace Jabari tried taking her own life after their messy breakup. Oh, so he thought that. Telling 911 dispatcher she insinuated as much before finding out, like, if somebody is threatening, you're not married to them, and they're threatening to do something crazy like that, send them back to their mother and their parents. If they're doing that so early, why would you want to deal with that for the rest of your life? That's not a red flag. That's amber. Which one is worse? Right? You don't want to deal with that, right? Like, come on. It's not worth it. And I've encountered that before, where people threaten because of a breakup. Like, you don't have to deal with that. Okay, they're gonna do times 10,000 when you do get married, and that's too much. Okay, they need to seek help. TMZ obtained the 911 call Jonathan made the day he was arrested, and he says he's calling for an attempted S. Jonathan tells the dispatcher Grace said she might harm herself after they broke up, and he spent the night in a hotel. Oh, so he was calling from a hotel. JM, no, he was there. Jonathan Major claims Grace had locked him out of his penthouse apartment in Manhattan. In the audio, Jonathan says the building's doorman had to help him get inside, where he found Grace passed out in his closet. He says he's naked. She's naked from the waist down and appears to be unconscious and has a cut behind her ears. That is crazy. Oh my God. You see that right there? You don't. Let me see if you can see. Let me make sure you guys can see. See that? Cray. Yeah, he was in the hotel, then he came back, right? Yeah. Yeah, so there was a breakup. He was trying to run for his life. But this woman seems like a crazy type. Like, where are you going? Where are you going? Where are you going? I need that sound effect. Anyway, let me play. There's this other report here. Something about I'm a great man. Okay, let's listen to it. Hold on 1 second.
What are we doing right now? Period. What are we doing right now? Period. This is action. Period. Do you understand that?
Yeah.
Do you really though, baby? Do you really?
Yes.
Then how dare you come home drunk and disturb the peace of our house when we have a plan?
Wait.
I would like to get to the point.
This guy is talking like he's talking inside of a Shakespeare scene or something. Like, in our house. How dare you talk like that in our house?
We're your friend's house when we have a plan.
Wait.
This is action. Period. Do you understand that?
Yeah.
Do you really though, baby? Do you really?
Yes.
Then how dare you come home?
She said yes, master.
When we have a plan.
I would
like to get to the point where your friends know what job I'm on and go, I think Grace is gonna be out of commission. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I won't. No,
do you understand that? Because that team, that unit, right? Grace has to be in a certain mindset to support Coretta Scott King. You know who that is? That's Martin Luther King's wife.
Okay.
Michelle Obama.
Right.
Barack Obama's wife.
I know. I shouldn't have gone out. I'm
sorry. Let me just lay it out for you, right?
If you have to preach to your lover, homie, like that, friend, it's not working, gentlemen. Don't do that. Yeah, you're carrying that weight is too much for you to carry. Why are you doing? Do you not like soft life too? Do you not like soft life too? Why would you want to engage a relationship where you have to preach to the person? Abi, you are sick yourself. Let's continue.
If I'm just gonna say this. My temper, my shit, my trauma, blah, all that said, right? And I'm not saying I'm a great man.
I'm a great man.
Man.
Listen, Tyrese. I am a great man. No one, not you, not no other person in this Indomie generation can tell me I am not a great man.
I am doing great things, not just for me, but for my culture and for the world. That is actually the position I'm in.
So I didn't even find out about this guy. I remember there was a picture of him. That was him, right? With Michael B. Jordan, where they were laying on each other and were like, what's wrong with these ones? Right? I remember that picture. I didn't even know where it was because I haven't watched movie in years, you know. So I don't know who they... I knew Michael B. Jordan, probably more so because of Wakanda Forever. He was because of the other chick from Steve Harvey's house, right? But so there are people like us that really don't know you until you put yourself in harm's way and you destroy your brand with this type of thing that's going on right now. Always keep humility. There's somebody that doesn't know who you are. Okay? No matter how great you think you are, just keep that at the back of your mind always, because you might need it someday. And why not just be surprised that somebody knows you rather than surprised that someone doesn't know you? There are many people that don't know you. I'm a great man. You seem like you're not sure yourself.
That's real. I'm not being a dick about it. I didn't ask for it. I've worked, and that's the situation. The woman that supports me, that I support, that needs to be a great woman and make sacrifices the way that man is making for her and for them ultimately. Last night, 2 nights ago, you did not do that.
You gotta make sacrifices. Sacrifices of what? When I cheat, just take it. Just take it. Don't question me, because I'm thinking that's why Coretta King came in. I'm not sure. I don't know. I don't have the full story yet. But I can already hear all over the place that these people are the kind of people that should always stay away from long-term relationship, okay? And obviously, this is dating now, but a lot of people start like this, and they end up getting married, right? And they actually expect a different result. Expectations are the poto. Anyway.
You did not do that.
I'm sorry.
Which took away
said, I'm
from
sorry.
the plan. And the plan is everything.
The plan.
If it was just you in the house drunk, maybe I could have swallowed it. Or I would have felt bold enough like, oh, hey, let's just go to bed. Which I said, I'm just going to go to bed. I'm not hungry, blah, 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 blah. Because Grace isn't here. Why? She was drunk. Why else? She was clogged by whatever was going on. You know what I mean? Fine. I can take that. Fine.
Anyway, so why am I covering this? All right. Why am I? You want to guess why I'm covering this? Anybody want to guess why I'm covering this? All right. It's not like we don't know them. Your first lady. This is what she decided to go into. I wonder what's going on through her mind. Is she going to change this man or something? What is going through Meagan Good's mind? Is she going to? Do you think can you change other human being? Is that even doable at some point? Right? Let me come to your chat, Jare, my good people. Dilo say, I'm sorry, but I feel sorry for this girl. This guy is a mental abuser. Okay. I don't know, right? I've seen enough to know that he doesn't have the skills to be in a long-term relationship. And Meagan Good, more importantly, does not know that. Probably because she does not have the skills to be in a long-term relationship. Only God knows what Devon Franklin tried to sustain. He was trying to be God. Expectations in the poto. You tried to date a Meagan Goody and turn her into a first lady. It cannot work. It cannot work. Okay. You don't need a perfect somebody, but you also don't need the worst that the marketplace have to offer and thinking you're going to turn them to be good. When people show you who they are, you have to just respect that and see that for what it is, right? Now he's racing, shaming her. I beg, this guy is not a good person. He said, I'm a great, it's not, this guy was a good person. He said, I'm a great guy. That's what he said. I didn't even know who he is at all. Well, now we know, for all the wrong reasons. Gentlemen, humble yourself. Yeah. We can find out about you in other ways, in other great ways. We don't have to find out by way of DV. You've ended up in a mess. right? Now you have to kind of manage. There's a lot of energy that goes into managing this kind of case, you know. Anyway, you found lots of material for us today. Well, always here, you know. Madam MAEGAN is confused. I think so too. I think so. So, like, you know what? That first lady thing did not work out. Let me go to the extreme other end. We can't find ourselves somewhere in the middle. No, we just have to go to the extreme because I'm traumatized. So, she too self, you know now. She go collect. She's gonna leave him soon. If she leaves him soon, right? I wonder where she's going. Is she gonna be leaving fry pan into fire if you don't work on yourself? Anyway, I do think it's a good idea for this guy. Is a mess, okay? Because if you find yourself in a relationship with a toxic woman who is cutting parts of hers and trying to and threatening all that kind of stuff, not only is she crazy, you're crazy. You're crazy. So here is my question, really quickly. What are your thoughts? Who do you believe, him or her? Who is I know they're both toxic. Who is the most toxic person among the two of these people, right? And what's the lesson you're getting out of this? I'm curious, you know, the lesson that you're getting out of this. Okay, I already gave the lesson, but I don't know if you caught it. But what lesson are you getting from this kind of story right now, particularly with respect to dating, relationship, and marriage? I'll be right back.
It's your love that I've been missing. I miss all your hugs, your touching and kissing. Make love on the floor, the couch in the kitchen. One love enough, we done enough.
All right. Welcome back. Let's cover this. Let's cover the main story of the day. This story is kind of funny to me, but you know. But I put it there as a placeholder. But let's cover it first before I go to what has now become the main story of the day, and then we can talk about that to round off the evening. All right, not that one. Let's see. This guy. Have you guys seen this viral video going viral earlier on today? This video right here. This auntie. There's an auntie here that was under the shed somewhere, and her husband came. Right? Anybody seen this? Let me play it for you. I'll just play it for you, okay? And then we'll take it from there. Let's hold on 1 second. Hold on. I want to make sure I play from the right place. Hold on 1 second. Excuse me. Okay, I found it. There you go. Hold on 1 second. All right. 1 second. There you go. There you go. This auntie, have you guys seen this auntie yet? No?
So now you dey fuck my wife.
Who?
For our church.
Yeah, you bring money for me. Wait,
so we bring money for you.
Did you hear the first question that man behind the camera asked? Now you the F my wife. Wait, what's going on?
You know what make me leave work come here? Bros, all these things where they hear so not true.
Make
wetin happen. You know I leave work come here.
Stop this thing you are doing.
You know I leave work come here.
Stop this thing. Stop this thing you are doing. Wait for the lady. Wait.
Which lady? Which lady? I know him and I know his wife.
Of course.
Come for you.
Wait till you go see the lady they come.
Then which lady bring come for you?
Wait till the lady they come here.
You know what make me leave work come here?
Yeah, I not pass your brother. Your brother.
All right, let me play from the beginning, okay?
So now you dey fuck my wife.
Who?
For our church.
Yeah, you bring money for me. Wait,
so we bring money for you. You know what make me leave work come here? Bros, all these things where they hear so not true.
Make
wetin happen. You know I leave work come here.
Stop this thing you are doing.
You know I leave work come here.
Stop this thing. Stop this thing you are doing. Wait for the lady. Wait.
Which lady? Which lady? I know him and I know his wife.
Of course. Wait, you go see the lady, what bring the come for me?
Which lady bring come for you?
Wait till you go see the lady they come.
Then which lady bring come for you?
Wait till the lady they come here.
You know what make me leave work come here?
Me, I not pass your brother where they work this thing. She not tell you the woman
Which
that
my-
work together.
Which my brother?
Take this thing come up from my eyes. You don't need to call her, she they come here.
So, bros, now you they do me this thing.
Now you do me this thing.
Which embarrassing me.
I say you're embarrassing me.
Slap me now if you are a man.
You're embarrassing me.
He said, slap me if you're a man.
So now you they do me all these things.
No, wait, she go bring
So now you they do me all these things.
wait, she go bring the money come.
My wife, you go bring the money come. Mama to introduce you.
Baby,
to
I love you. This
I know.
is where
So
it
now you
always
they do
ends
me all
too
these
bad.
things.
She not tell you say that the woman. Stop doing stop.
So now you and this guy.
Stop recording me.
So you and him.
Stop recording me. I tell you, wait, eh?
So now
She was still coming.
I saw the. So now you they do me all this. So now you they fuck my wife
Who?
for our church.
Yeah, he bring money for me. Wait,
So we bring money for you. You know what
She said, bring money to me. Oh my God. Picnic date, oh, for that matter, with somebody else's husband and wife. People have chest, oh. How you liar, oh. People have audacity, oh. But hey, I keep telling you, people will do all the wrong things when it feels right. So I don't know what you want to do with that statement, but whatever you deem fit, do it, you know. More fresh, yes, we're gonna be covering that next, okay? Is this proof they are cheating? Exactly. That's a good question, because I don't know. You know, there's a comment I left on here. If you look on the screen, it says, now Una, they ask for evidence now. No be so. Everybody's pulling out their phone and they start filming anything. Right? And the problem is that these evidences are not good enough.
We go explain because no evidence.
These evidences are not good enough. You can't just film two people on a date inside of a cabin. Stop the cab. They're up to something. Okay, I get it. But I don't know, you know. If you ask me, who I go ask? Yeah? If you ask me, who I go ask? Anyway. Oh, you know, past Akwa Ibom, Benin, Edo State, they learn Ashawo business from childbirth. Very impressive. That's a man saying that. Okay, gentlemen, if you're very quick to jump in at your own throat and calling women Olosho when you see this kind of story, it's about you. Don't lie to yourself. It's about you, okay? And just letting you know now, okay? You're probably going to attract similar situation in a kind of a twisted, different way. Because, yeah, I'll tell you more about that later on. But let's continue. So I said, God who posted this here. Not true, my girl is so innocent. A lot of men are depressed in Europe. Not true, my girl is so innocent. A lot of men are depressed in Europe. What? Normally, Nigerian woman belongs to the streets. You see? All right. So, I guess the person who posted this, the man who recorded this, should be happy. He will have tons of misery love company, people that will help him here. Right? Someone said maybe the husband was not giving her peace at home. Yeah, Shengbo. Really? That's what you have to say about this? Like, you shouldn't be in that. It definitely looks crazy, so we can't cap on that. That's why I caught myself right there. I said, nah, stop the cap. Why is she in the cabin? What are they doing? A family meeting? Or some kind of business meeting? Anyway, we don't know, right? But it looks crazy, okay? But obviously, a man who left work, who is now filming the situation, has been experiencing some things, right? So there's a reason why he's here, and he's now faced with his worst nightmare. All right, let me see here. Let's see. You leave work to come monitor your wife. Yeah, if somebody leave work to come and monitor you, they shouldn't catch you inside a cabin with another person's husband. Okudiakato, it's not good enough. Sorry. Now, because get strict job. The street job, it's about, maybe it's his business. Where's the evidence of her doing it? I don't know, it just looks terrible. Maybe she was on her way to doing it. She's meditating upon doing it. Somebody said maybe a skit, maybe, but these things are happening. She was not in a hotel. Fair woman will get this kind of leg and nyash. Why now? This is wrong. So when you finally take Igbo woman abroad, I bet that person is an Igbo person saying that. Terrible. Husband, have you ever cheated on your wife? Let's start from there. No, we cannot start from there. We have to start from what we're looking at, okay? She should not be inside a cabin, a small cabin for that matter, where it looks like that guy's leg is inside of her, under a hair, you know. That's too close. Okay, that's too close.
Stop the cap.
All right, so we're not going to start from if he's cheating or not. If he's a cheater, he probably won't have time to be checking his wife around. Some people are crazy like that, but yeah, he probably, yeah. He could be a cheater. I don't know, but it's not relevant right now. Two wrongs don't make it right. Somebody said, now most Yoruba boys and work be this. Yoruba men don't collect for no reason.
Sorry.
America, especially the woman, now Yoruba are married to a man from a different tribe. Then go tell the woman to leave you. Say she's supposed to date with Yoruba man. Okay, so is that man is, we're guessing, like they're already assuming that man is Yoruba. Terrible. This is wrong. This is not cool. Anyway, it does look crazy. I should leave Obìnrin alone. Now Obìnrin come there, they ask if the man is cheating. How's that relevant to what she's? Why is she inside the cabin with a Femi or Tunde's leg inside her something? And that small thing. Her hands are not clean now. Like, stop the cap now. They're having discussion call. So only when she's on top of the man, then you will ask another question. Exactly. Your audio and video are out of sync. I know. I don't know what's going on here. Let me refresh the page. I don't know what's going on here. Let's stop the share. I'll try to see if we can fix it really quickly. All right, let's see if it works out fine now, because this has been happening for a few days. I don't know why. Yeah, it's not fixed. I don't know why. I have no idea why this is happening. Let me see here. Everyone is collecting from left and right. I know, crazy. I'm trying to see if I can fix that thing right now very quickly. I don't know why it does that in the past few days. It could be the browser. Continue. No. I don't want to do that. That's probably a bad idea. Hold on 1 second. I might have too many things loaded on the browser. Could be. Let's see here. All right, we'll see. I don't know. Anyway, so let's see. Just trying to see if I can close. Let me pull up the. Let's move on to the rest of the story today. You know what? Let me do this. Let's do this. I'll be right back. You guys just hang in there, okay? Just hang in there. I'll be right back. I am back. I want to see if I can get this back up to speed. If then it'll be a problem on their end if it's not working now. Hold on 1 second. All right, yeah, it's a problem on their end. So let's just do the show today. I'm gonna end the session. We're gonna go on to what ended up being the main story of the day. Since the audio is not syncing, it might be a bad idea for me to keep showing my face. Let's see. We're struggle streaming today. I'll be right back so we can do the other story.
It's your love that I've been missing. I miss all your hugs, your touching and kissing. Me love on the floor, the couch in the kitchen. One love enough, we done enough.
All right, so IFEANYI'S, Paula IFEANYI'S, she ended up on Daddy Free Show some couple of hours ago, not too long ago. As a matter of fact, I was about to come on the show. She was here, so let's watch this video. But before we watch this video, how many people remember the first question I asked? The first major question that I asked. How many people remember the first main question that I asked? When anybody remember the first main question that I asked? Anybody want to tell us? I'm here with you. I'm here with you. I'm gonna try to see if it could be. Anybody remember the first major question that I asked? Yeah. Anybody remember? She said what? That wasn't the question I asked though. All right, so it might be my computer because I just reconnected the camera and it seems to be a better sync. All right. Did you notice the picture is better in sync right now? Is it better? Is it in sync better? I'm troubleshooting at the same time doing the show. What happened? It's better in sync. Okay. It's my camera. It's my camera connections. Yes, ridiculous. I don't know why it's doing that. But now I know to fix that on my end here. All right, cool. So, did you ask where's the father? I did. Anybody remember me asking where's the father? I asked earlier on also. I asked the second time, I think, but Ben also asked when it was on the show. But let's watch this short clip together. I didn't really finish watching the show, but I caught this just before we came on. I was like, you know what? Let me come and play this and we can hear directly from her. Let's get into it.
That I let him get the phone to talk to her. So after that situation, me and my mom, we were kind of back and forth, but it wasn't until March that I truly we stopped associating with each other. We just stopped talking to each other, and for 6 months we didn't speak. She didn't call. She didn't call me. I didn't call her, and yeah. And so up until what transpired in October.
Okay, where's your dad?
All right, so that was a good question. I'm glad that Daddy Freeze asked that question. But before they got to that, she was talking about some kind of but basically that relationship with her and her mother has been faulty from long before. They were not talking to each other for 6 months. Okay. If you're not talking to your mother for 6 months, or you're not talking to your daughter for 6 months, this is about you. There's something about you. Okay. There's something about you. Okay. Now it takes two to tango, obviously, but there's something about that relationship that you have with whoever you're not talking to for 6 months. A close person like that, like your mother, right? So now she was having a baby, so she can get a pass. She was having a baby. She had a baby at home. All that kind of stuff was going on. She asked her mom and her sister to leave her house because she went to the hospital because one of them was sick. And the mother, like, what do you mean? You're kicking me out of your house? And she started barring everywhere because she said the baby is 2 days old. We can't have another person that's sick in the house. The mama will not listen anyway. So as soon as if she finished explaining that, and then she also mentioned that her relationship with her boyfriend, her baby father, is toxic. She mentioned that as well. But she also mentioned that her relationship with her mother is toxic, but she had no choice but to protect her daughter to at least not go homeless. So she went back home just 2 months ago. So all of that is on Daddy Free's platform. But this part is the part that interested me just before I came on, you know, and I wanted to play. So I'm going to move it back a little bit so you can hear that.
Okay, where's your dad?
My dad is in Nigeria. I'm not sure if he might be in Asaba.
All right. So if your dad lives in another country entirely and that's been happening for a long time, that is essentially absentee father. Okay. Like, but we have to eat it. Like, that's absentee father. Okay. That person will have to work extra hard to be present in their daughter's house. Now, some men will do that because they're literally trying to be away a little bit from their wife. Maybe it's often toxic, but they want to keep the family. They might even rename it and say, hey, I have my family in America and, you know, I have to make sure they have good education. But when you start digging deeper, there's more to it, right?
What's your relationship with your dad like?
So right now, currently, we're on speaking terms. We only just now got back on speaking terms because when I had my daughter, before I had my daughter, I kind of had a lot of animosity towards people who hurt me. So after having her, it kind of made me want to reconcile and give people another chance in my life. My dad was one of them. Growing up, my daddy wasn't there. He wasn't really there much. He would come visit, then he would go back, he'll come visit, and then the visits became less and less and less. And I would always reach out to him, text him, call him, try to have a relationship with him.
All right, so let me take this opportunity to tell you that when we're talking about absentee fathers and father not being in children's life, it's a big deal. It's additional layer of issues you have to worry about. Maybe not worry about, but more so be aware of that this can potentially cause trouble for your children in the future. And it's not a matter of you're not capable enough, ladies. It's not about that, okay? It's about you don't know what you don't know, right? Or it's about how do I say this? And I'm not looking for a nicer word. I'm actually trying to say it in a way that you can understand. There's a social construct in all of this, right? There's a social construct involved in this, right? When you don't have a there's something that a mother represents, nurturing. There's something that a father represents in every single one of our lives. Okay? Structure. The presence of a father, particularly a competent father, let's be clear about that. The presence, because if a father is not competent, right, they can be there and not be there, right? But we're talking about a competent father now, right? They represent structure for all of us. We all need a dose of nurturing in our lives, validation, something we just love on you regardless. We also need people who say, no, this is structure. And you need that structure in your life. We need that as well. All of us needed that as children. Every children will need that at some level. And when you don't have that, you will have to deal with some things that has nothing to do with if you're doing the right thing or you're a capable mother or not. This has nothing to do with that. Okay? But I want you to listen to her yourself.
With him, but it wasn't reciprocated. So when I went off to college, I kind of decided I didn't want to chase after him anymore. I stopped wanting to talk to him. I no longer wanted a relationship with him. And I feel like I had a lot of anger towards him. So for years, I didn't talk to my father. For years, I didn't talk to him because I resented him for not being there. I resented him for leaving us because he.
She resented. I want you to pay attention to this part that's coming up. This part that is coming up is very, very important. This is where you realize that it's not about Baba tried his best, Mommy tried his best. None of that is relevant. Okay, we don't care who tried their best. We're talking about what you can learn from this so you can mitigate against the risk of this reality in your life. That's what we're talking about. We don't care who tried their best or not. If your best is not good enough, it's not good enough, right? So we have to look at this and say, hey, what can we learn from this, right? You notice this child, quote unquote, 25-year-old child, keeps saying, I resented. I have real life examples of this, okay? And if you know the quote unquote Nigerian African dad, if they are living overseas, long distance, it's not like they are calling every day. Even when they call to say hello to the mama, maybe they give money or something, like I sent you some money. They're not exactly saying, hey, let me talk to the babies. That's not what's going down for the most part, right? There are some that do that, but for the most part, that's not what's going down. Okay, a lot of time it's just like, oh, the baby will be all right. Yeah, alafia lewa. Are you guys okay? And then they just move on with their life. Yeah, he's in Asaba. He's just doing his thing, right? Because what? Hey, he's the mother. Is the mother bonds with the children? Let them do their thing. But look at what we're dealing with today. Okay.
Wasn't there, I had to take on a lot of responsibility as a child that I do feel like is overlooked because I believe like, especially as a firstborn, we're our mother's helper. And there's nothing wrong with being your mother's helper, but sometimes you become your mother's husband in a sense. You know, and I feel like because my dad wasn't there, I had to take on so much. And so I kind of resent.
What she just said is real. She said you become your mother's husband in a sense. Most times people talk about men like this, men that became the husband of their mother. It could be a daughter too, right? Because there's just going to be certain responsibility that typically a child will not have to worry about, and most of that is mentally, emotionally. We're not talking about they're doing chores. Somebody's going to be like, so it's a problem now that you're washing plates. No, it has nothing to do with that. Jesus Christ, it has nothing to do with that. Majority of what we're talking about, a big chunk of it, 98% of it, is mental and emotional weight that she would have to carry, especially being the firstborn. She will literally have to replace that man as emotional support for her mother, all of that, right? That's something. It's like, think about Michael Jackson becoming an adult as young as 9, 10, 11, 12 years old. These people might never get over this. These are the reality. It has nothing to do right or wrong. This is something you have to pay attention to, because they end up taking on that role. They miss out on being a child. They will show you shaggy later on now. What do you expect? What do you expect? That's what we're talking about. We're not talking about all the moral police. Get out of here. We're not talking about right or wrong right now. We're talking about the results you're looking to create. How do you create those results, right? And how do you not create a terrible result? Do you not know that bad things happen to good people? Particularly not just because they are doing them from their village. I'm talking about from a place of incompetence. They don't know what they're doing.
To him for it. I didn't talk to him for years. When I had my daughter, I just called him. I called him one day after like maybe 3 or 4 years of not talking to him. And I told him I wanted to tell him something. I introduced him to my daughter. He cried. He was happy. And we reconciled our relationship. And my dad, the reason I was so hurt is because whenever my dad was around, our relationship, he was the one that understood me. He was the one that would talk to me. My dad isn't an angry person.
All right, pay attention to that. Did we not talk about this yesterday? Did we not end with this yesterday? Remember the last question I asked when Chinye was already on the stage yesterday when I asked that question? I'm going to rewind a little bit because now she's dropping a lot of things that a lot of people don't pay attention to. Right? Is that who this woman is? Or her daughter is making her be that? Listen, whoever you are, if you're a blunt person, you're a rude person, you're a nice person, you're a kind person, if it's negative or bad, there will be more than enough environmental factors to make you act a fool if that's really who you are. It could be your children, it could be your husband. Is that who this woman is? We said that, we asked that question yesterday. I asked that question just before we ended yesterday. I'm going to play this back a little bit again.
I was so hurt is because whenever my dad was around, our relationship, he was the one that understood me. he was the one that would talk to me. My dad isn't an angry person.
He was the one, whenever he was around, he became the good police when he was around. Is that necessarily a good thing? No, it is not. Did that look good to her? Yes. Did that become negative later on? Yes. Because she ended up resenting him. Because how dare you, you good guy, you're not around when I need you the most to protect me from this crazy lady. She was a surrogate parent too. Never got to be a child. Poor family. She was a surrogate. Are you talking about this lady? Because I haven't finished listening to it. This is just the part that I was listening to before I came on the show. Are you talking about IFEANYI'S mom? Was a surrogate lady too? Was a surrogate parent?
We reconciled our relationship, and my dad, the reason I was so hurt is because whenever my dad was around, our relationship, he was the one that understood me. He was the one that would talk to me. My dad isn't an angry.
He was the one. He wasn't the angry one. He was the one that wanted to, be my friend. It was such a relief whenever I was around, but then he chose to not be around.
Person.
This is not about right and wrong, because you could sit down there and try to explain the logistic and the logic of it to her. Her experience is her experience. Her experience is not adding up to whatever you're talking about. Let's keep going.
He's very.
Do you think the reason why your mom is not with your dad is because of the way your mom is, according to you, toxic? Could that?
Chinye, I have tons and tons of this same example. And it was worse in the 90s when there was no phones installed in most houses. It was worse. But even till today, with GSM or cell phones, smartphones in people's hands, they don't. Like, if you're not around, like, you're with your mother, what's the issue? You're being taken care of. What do you want? That will be the question you're gonna get met with if you hold them accountable to that. They can't comprehend what you're talking about too. She's with her mother. What do you want me to do? And I'm taking care of them. I'm sending money. But this is the result of it that you're looking at right now. Okay? And the result is not that you're wrong. We don't care. We're talking about the result you've created. Now you have a daughter who resented you. And even though you were not talking, you probably didn't realize that she's mad at you. You're just like, life is just one day at a time, one day at another. Before you know it, 4 years is gone. And that child is resenting you. That child is struggling in their life because of a discombobulated mixed match of they're confused. They're probably struggling because they're confused.
Be a factor?
I do believe
that is because of the way your mom is, according to you, toxic. Could that be a factor?
She called her mom toxic earlier on. That's what Daddy Freeze is referencing. And she said, is it because of mom being toxic? Could that be a factor? Why your mom? And guess what she said?
I do believe this. Growing up, I feel like my mother was able to control the narrative because she was the one there. So as I got older, I began to see things for myself. And
she said she's talking about the narrative. I have too many examples of this in my own personal life. I'm telling you. She said she controlled the narrative with the children. Precisely is what she's talking about. Whatever she said was going on between her and her husband was what the children believed. But after the children start to get to a certain age, they have a mind of their own, especially these new children. You're not going to BS them. It's not going to work. Okay, at some point they will start asking questions. I'm telling you, there are men who resent their mother after loving their mother so much throughout their childhood years into their early 20s, and now in their 30s they resent their mother because they've experienced something similar, and they are connecting the dots, and they're like, that woman is crazy. Go and watch Busta Rhymes video on CEO of a Diary. I'll be close enough, okay? I'm paraphrasing, but close enough. The language you use that because my mom was bugging. I hadn't have a relationship with my father for the longest. And later on in life, he had to appreciate his father a little bit of a different. And they had their issue. He did say they had their issues and stuff like that. If you cannot separate your issues with your ex from your children, it will come back and bite you in the butt. That child will show you shege. That's what you just saw transpired in the past few days. And that's what she's talking about. She was controlling the narrative, right? Controlling the narrative doesn't mean she was doing it intentionally, but she was telling her experience. But her children were involved in that. And that has caused a bunch of traumatic experience right now. Do you think they're talking right now? No, she's living with her friend now. She's now staying with her roommate. She's probably not going to talk to her for a while. She'll always find her way back, but they will continue to create all these damages back and forth, right? Anyway.
Not with your dad is because of the way your mom is, according to you, toxic. Could that be a factor?
I do believe this. Growing up, I feel like my mother was able to control the narrative because she was the one there. So as I got older, I began to see things for myself and understand things. And talking to my dad and then also hearing my mother's side of the story, I can use my own sense to put certain things together.
There you go. Because you didn't raise stupid people. They might be struggling from an emotional standpoint, but they're not. She's not stupid. She went to college. She has a bachelor degree in nursing. She just chose not to use it. She says she doesn't see herself doing it. Right? But of course, you know what the mother will say. There's the demons. Right? It's the spirituality that she's doing that's attacking her from the village. The family of her father are attacking her daughter. And she won't realize that she's messing with the relationship with her daughter under the same breath. Her dad is full of cow dung. He was a part-time parent. He was a fun-time dad. Probably was. Yep. Because, they're with their mother. Why not? I just send money and everybody should be fine. Gentlemen, bad idea. Bad idea. Chia said, this is something for DF that he frees to also think about, especially being that he's not in contact with his kids. Absolutely. But I heard him talk about his kids one time and I felt for him. He even mentioned one of the names and it was like he missed his son. And I'm like, yeah, it can be difficult. Let me tell you, this one we're talking about right now, if it's exactly what I'm thinking, right? That man might be losing his mind before he decided to like, you know what, my children, I know a person like that. It's like, my children will find me. My children will find me. But there was a lot that transpired before he concluded to that, because he was losing his mind too. Now I'm always coming from a standpoint, you have to do whatever is in your power to make sure you're in your children's life. Just keep trying. Maybe document some of that. Go to court, because that's documented by default. That's why some men come back and resent their mother, because they see some documents and they see some evidence and say like, well, auntie, you were the mad one in this situation. Well, not necessarily that they were the mad one, but because the part of the story they told them, they were controlling the narrative, also hid some very important details that will at least let me have a relationship with my father and just see that, okay, you guys could not be together, but you both love us. But when you paint the picture that looks like the father does not love you or the children or care about the children, or you leave out some part, which is naturally done sometimes because people tell the side of the story that matches with the side of their brain that works, right? When you do that, it will come back and bite you in the butt in the future. That's all I'm saying. It might, because I don't know, right? More likely to come, especially with this Gen Z generation. They will dig everything up. Remember, no evidence. You shall lie tired. They will ask you all, but you said once upon, but I remember this and I was confused. At best, you can confuse them, but you can't confuse them for much long. That's what this was yesterday. Okay, she resents not just the mother, she resents both parents. Right? She's looking at them like, these are mad people, like, and they call themselves Christians because now they're mixing it up with religion and all this kind of stuff. But it's all one and the same. Okay, all one and the same. You have a bunch of people in Nigeria talking about Christ, have no relationship with Christ. This is the reality of religion in Nigeria. That's the truth. That's actually the reality. You can just look at it, you can see it. And the example of it is what you saw yesterday, that this young lady put on the on full blast yesterday.
Recently, it's like my mom, she's trying to heal. doesn't realize that it's her. You know, one recent example.
She's trying to heal, but does not realize it's her. That's what she just said. That she's trying, right? But she does not realize that it's her.
Example, my dad told me he texted her Happy Thanksgiving. Simple Happy Thanksgiving turned into her insulting him. Oh, you left me with the children, or this or that. And that's the relationship they've had for years. And it's been years of me witnessing this, witnessing my dad saying something, trying to have a relationship, but then always being reminded that, 1 second.
Now she has to be a single mother. Because she says our relationship with
Thank you. So trying to have a relationship and then always being reminded that, he was the parent that wasn't there, and not being given the opportunity to have.
Yeah, that's all I have. This is exactly at 5 p.m. when I decided to come on the show. But there you have it. Listen to me carefully, okay? Keep listening to me, okay? I'm realizing that there's just it's not as simple as I thought it would be, okay? This type of things. The same principles that guide dating, relationship, marriage, also guides parenting, okay? Same principles. The only difference is that parenting does not involve you having sex with the people you're in relationship with, but it's a relationship, all right? And much wisdom is required when you're managing these relationships. It's not about crisis will not happen. Nobody's trying to help you prevent crisis ever from happening. No, I'm not trying to do that. Precisely, inevitably, crisis will happen. It's how you respond when they happen that matters, right? It's a fact of life that your husband would offend you. It's a fact of life that your wife will offend you. It's a fact of life that your children will offend you. It's a fact of life that your parent will offend you. Okay? In all of that, something is true. Something is true across the board. You cannot control all this. This is a bunch of other human beings. They came to this world separate. Maybe they came to you biologically speaking, but these are all different human beings. If anything, it's a privilege that you have them in your life, even when they are toxic. Okay? And sometimes you do have to back off of them. Give them some space. Give yourself some space. Much needed space oftentimes. Sometimes you have to do that. You know? But ultimately, in your life, okay? With the flaws and all, it's exactly how God blessed you with these people in your life, with the flaws and everything. All right, these are some of the things you will go through that will also help you grow. Imagine a perfect life and everything has happened and you happen to be not strong enough. You never grow. But what makes you grow as a person is having to learn how to manage all of these different types of relationships. All right, and when I say managing these relationships, it's a moving target. It's a moving target. So you have to stay on your toes in terms of your skill set, your competency. You have to stay on your toes. You can't afford to say, this is how we did it at one point and this is how it's going to work. No, there's nothing in life that works that way. Not the place you work at, not the institutions that we all benefit from. So parenting is not going to be the same thing. It's a moving target. Okay, so you need to pay attention to some of the nuances that are being created by the advancement of the human experience. You need to pay attention to that if you're raising kids. Okay, it gets easier with time because you would have seen a few changes. Even all those changes will create pattern at some point. It gets easier with time. But yeah, there you have it. Another evidence, a real life evidence that we kind of know what we're talking about, you know. It's not a matter of right and wrong, okay? If there is no father in a child's life, everything else being equal, the chances that they're going to be troubled increases. Everything else being equal. Now, obviously, in real life, everything else is not going to be equal. You might just be a blessed mother who managed to make it work and they are doing well. Okay? But you need to know that that one single variable is good enough to derail a child's life. You need to know that, and you need to work to protect your children against that simple concept. Not you or the other person, just understanding that that's going to create some kind of imbalance, because you're not living in a cave, you live in a society. There's a social construct. Okay, and if your child is going through an experience that's slightly different from the rest of the world, it's going to show out in the way they behave. Okay, so if they have the other kids, their father show up to everything, and then their own father never shows up, that's going to create questions and confusion. That's something that we all need to just pay attention to, right? That's what I mean by the social construct. You do not live in a cave. You cannot pretend that you live in a world all by yourself. Okay, human beings are social beings, we're emotional beings, and these are the factors that drive everything. Okay, Mara says, I went on a few dates with a guy like that. He's no contact with the absent dad. Resents mom who raised 3 kids alone in the US. I knew he was a no-go. I'm not equipped for that. You gotta know when you're not equipped for that. You just gotta know. You just gotta know that's gonna cause trouble at some point. Okay, they need help at least. Okay. All right, especially when his relationships with his ex is very toxic. DF said he almost had an accident. Yeah, remember? I told you that, right? If a person almost losing their mind, they have to kind of like protect themselves first. They have to self-preservation always first. And sometimes that's at the cost of, that's going to cost you too. In other ways, that's just how life works, you know. But some people are not even going to anything close to that. They're just like, right? Again, you try your best to be there. So that's why it's not a right and wrong issue. It's just something we should pay attention to know that this is real. If you care about your kids and you still have an opportunity to be in their lives and find a way, and you can talk to a coach, you can talk to someone that can help you mitigate that, then figure it out, you know, figure something out. You will grow from it. You're not doing them a favor. You will actually experience some level of growth from that, you know, from going through that process, right? The truth always comes out in the long run. Yep. Undefeated, right? Yeah. MOP, as a woman, I think... OJA, shout out to you. As a woman, I think it's usually very difficult letting a man that has shown you shiggy having a good time with his kids. That's why the woman used the kids as weapons. Yes. That's some of the things that's why the self-awareness comes in, right? You think beyond just how you feel in the moment. It's a very difficult thing to do. Nonetheless, it matches everything that's worthwhile in life. They tend to be difficult, right? But it's worth it to go through the process. If it's difficult, there's a good chance that's what you need to do, right? So yes, that's a good point. A lot of women, they don't have enough self-awareness to figure that out. Now, the reason why this doesn't fall on men's side is, for the most part, is the woman who is nurturing the kids. But there's nothing in life that's absolutely good or bad. So it's a good thing I think it's a beautiful thing. I think it's a blessing that we have our mothers to nurture us. But this is not every case, every story where it is absolutely beneficial because of these intricacies, because of all this dynamic, the relationship with the father, with all this kind of stuff. I will always go with the mother should have the kids, right? But I want them to understand that comes with a certain level of responsibility when the father is not present. I'm not talking about the responsibility of feeding them or taking them to school. I'm talking about mentally, emotionally. A lot of women are not equipped for that. They're not equipped for the single motherhood. Like this girl herself, she's not equipped for that. She's not equipped for the single motherhood that she just found herself in. Okay, in fact, that whole spirituality thing is probably going to confuse her even more and make things worse. She probably will use it as a weapon to shame other people. I think she's doing well. I think she might be fine, but there's a lot of people that are just confused like that, you know. Oh wow, Mofresh says, shout out to you, Mofresh. I wish Freeze had also asked her why she felt the need to post the video online. There's more to it. I'm gonna go watch it once we're done with the show. I just watched, this was just 5 minutes clip off of it, you know. At the end of the interview, she promoted, so you watched it. So she promoted her socials, which made me feel she also wanted to go viral. Of course, I could have told you that for free, but thanks for saying that. This girl is promoting her social currency. That's what she's doing right now. So she's not about to learn anything from this. Let's just be frank right now. We're just letting you know that based on what we said yesterday is already matching, right? But this girl is not about to learn anything from this situation. She thinks she's getting away with this. She thinks she's exonerated from all of this. No, you're an adult. You have responsibility. She self go collect.
Sorry, yo.
Telling you. So I'm glad you said you watched that. We'll see. She mentioned being a spiritual coach. Yeah, that's what her profile says. She's a spiritual coach. This girl cannot coach anything spirituality. She needs to coach herself first, at least. You know. Yeah. So I don't know. I want to go through some of the comments on the. I haven't watched it. It's right here, as a matter of fact. But I'm gonna look at some of the comments right now. Let me see here. And then we'll use that to finish off the show for today, because I do want to finish on time today. All right, so this is actually on Daddy Freeze page now. If she did it to promote her socials, then she's the toxic one, not the mom. No, it's not right or wrong. It's not right or wrong. Okay, two things can be correct at the same time. Two things can be right, or two things can be wrong at the same time. Right? The mom, it was not a competent parent. The dad was for sure not a competent parent, right? But she's now 25. She cannot use that excuse to move through life. You get it? There's no way she's going to be a competent parent going through what she's going through right now. See, not being a competent parent is not a matter of it's your fault. You just don't know what you don't know when you don't know. When you don't have the skills, you don't have game, you don't know what you don't know. That means you will create bad results. It's not you that's bad, you will create bad results. You could be bad, but I think most human beings are trying to do the right thing. Sometimes they don't have the skills. Why do I need to say it that way? It's very important, because when you find people that don't have the skills or they're moving mad, you need to understand that so that you can give yourself grace, so that you don't become toxic to yourself and beating yourself too much. You just have to see them for what it is. This person does not know what they're doing, and then you mitigate, you move accordingly. But if you think they're being evil, the only next best thing to do to evil people is to be evil to them. Remember, hurt people, and you might end up hurting yourself in that process, because the assessment is already wrong from the get-go. That's why it's very important to spell that out. Okay, these people are not necessarily wrong. They are creating wrong results. They could be wrong. I don't know them like that, but it's not about that. It's about looking at what we can see, as far as we can see, and say, hey, I want to make sure I'm in the life of my kids. If I'm going to do long distance, I want to make sure I have some things in place. Make sure it's a short-term situation. Make sure that I'm overcompensating in other ways, because there's always a way. If you are aware that this is a negative thing, you find other ways to, because nobody has it perfect. Like the idea, it's not just that the father wasn't around. It's that the father wasn't around, but there was nothing done to overcompensate for that absence, right? Particularly because they probably didn't think it was a big deal. Probably think like it shouldn't be a big deal. Father went to work, so why should that be a big deal? You know? Well, you'll find out it's a big deal in 25 years from now. She was born in Lagos, by the way, she said. And she was raised here, though, since the age of 1 or 3 or something like that. You know? So it's very important to just see it from that angle. The two things, both of them are not, I don't think it's relevant if they are wrong or right. I don't think it's relevant. We can just see that as absentee parents is something we have to pay attention to. We can see it as that without judging both of them, you know. So I'm looking at some of the comments here. Somebody said, you have indicted the mother without hearing her own side of the story. You see, this is what our society has. These are the most loudest people commenting in our society. Okay, even the first statement alone tells me that this person probably have not listened to the whole thing. If they did, if you listen to anything one time, you only get maybe 20% of it. Okay, sometimes you listen to it a second time, third time, you get more from it, right? but they always have the longest thing to say. So this person said, you have indicted the mother without hearing our own side of the story. I haven't listened to it, so I don't know, but I doubt that's what happened in this video. It might come off that way if you have your own bias, right? Again, self-awareness. If you have your own bias already, it will come off that way. We don't have to take sides on this story. We can just take the lesson and run from it and run with it to the bank, right? This is a parenting issue now. That's what it is now. It becomes a parenting issue for her too, because she has a baby as a single mother right now, and she claimed with her own mouth that she's in a toxic relationship with the baby father. So if we really want to, if it's that bad and we must distribute blame game, there's more than enough to go around without really picking any side, you know. Were you looking for an opportunity to bash the mom? There's no reason why she had to do live to embarrass her mom. Shangbo. God. I'll finish it, I promise. I'll finish it. A fair advice without hearing the moms was to suggest therapy for the family. No, just because you use the word therapy doesn't mean you're right. You're wrong. Just because you use the word boundaries doesn't mean you're right. You're wrong. Just because you use the word narcissism, like the lady did when she put her mother on blast, doesn't mean you're right. You're wrong. You're wrong. Okay? You're wrong. It was an interview. It's not a therapy session. Like Mo Fresh, or who said it earlier, said she came there to promote her socials. It's not a therapy session. The fact that you're assuming that the dad was absent because the mom is unbearable is very irresponsible of you. She said it. These people are mad. These people are mad. I can't help you. I gotta do this. I got just one time.
Sorry.
She said that. She literally said, I think this. She said our mom is toxic. That doesn't have to be correct. It's her experience. But what I'm realizing that our comprehension is quite different from a lot of those people, especially people that are in Nigeria. Our comprehension is quite different. Till you hear from the mom. No, we don't have to hear nothing from the mom before we can see the lessons in this. We don't have to hear, and we don't have to hear any other side of the story. You just have to listen to me. Yeah, me, not the narcissistic me. You listen to me. Okay, this is a parenting. The only lesson we can get out of this is parenting, not how to be a judge. You're not going to be a judge anyway, because even in the court of law, they don't necessarily wait for two sides of a story. They wait for evidence. It's evidence and what can be proven. They don't wait. That's a falsehood. They don't wait for two sides of a story. They're looking for evidence to declare a conclusion. But I bet they think it's, this is two sides of the story. No, it's not relevant. If we get the other side of the story, cool. But it's not relevant to some of the conclusions that I saw him made in the 5 minutes. But even from this write-up right now, I could tell that this person is a weirdo. I think you saw this as an opportunity to bash religion. And religion has its faults. The girl was right about religion. Religion is used mostly for division. If your brain cannot comprehend that, sorry. But if you ask a couple of enlightened people, they will tell you that for free. Okay? If you understand how power works, religion is part of the tools that's used to create division between people. And it's just sad that Africans are still talking like this in 2023. Just FYI, I'm not a religious either. You're a liar. Tell your face that you're not religious. You are a liar.
Why the fuck you lying? Why you always lying?
I'm trying to defend it. Do better. It's a retard. Oh, excuse my French. This person is slow now. This person is slow. No. Ola, people are free to have their opinion. Yes, sure. They should start a YouTube channel and start dishing it. They just did give me an opinion. I gave them the freedom. I'm having my opinion right now. This is a slow person. Okay. A coach Wilfred Asuko here says she is so sweet, intelligent, coordinated, and respectful. Daddy Freeze, that was an exceptional coaching service. Bless him, boss. I like that. I didn't listen to the whole thing yet, but someone said, unfortunately, her mom is like most women who were abandoned by men, husbands, left with kids to cater. Now we can talk about that. Okay, left with kids to cater for, but want to use the back door to get back to the kids with acknowledging the wrong he did to his. There are many. No, that's not back door. If it's acknowledging the wrong he did, then that's what that is. We can stop right there first. Take a deep breath before we move on to the next topic. As opposed to saying it's using as back door. That becomes the same problem. Because that will never stop. When you point fingers, if you're in the habit of always pointing fingers, blame game, it must be somebody else's fault. It never stops. Because we are all coming from a place. We come from somebody else. We came from somewhere else. When you finish blaming this one, you have to blame that one for this one. You have to blame this one for this one. It will never stop. You will never learn anything from it. That's why blame game doesn't work. Right? So this person said, left with kids to cater for, but want to use the back door to get back to the kids with acknowledging the wrong he did to his. No, if you acknowledge what he did, he did. As an individual, you look at the wrong you did. If you say, hey, you owe me an apology, you go to the person. That's your responsibility. You say, you owe me an apology. You know, the experience we had, we could have done better. Yes, we could have done better. Right. But now you end up, you use the back door. That becomes another form of accusation. And it never stops. They all need therapy. No, you're wrong too. Just because you brought therapy into it. That pissed me off. Okay, after you said everything that's wrong and then you now say therapy. No, you're wrong. Therapy is not wrong. Please, therapy is good. Somebody said, thanks for your understanding, not judging her. Good job today, Daddy Freeze. Wow, she's well grounded and highly. She's not grounded. Just because of how she showed up here does not mean she's grounded. I don't agree with that. She's not grounded. She's precisely the opposite of that. But again, if we're going to be blaming, we have to go back to the parents, right? But that's not to exonerate her. That's to say, hey, we could do better because it's not that far behind, right? And that's not to judge the mother because again, they don't know what they don't know. So, I hope they both heal from the traumas blocking them from having a great relationship. I hope so too. How did you judge the mom so fast without listening to the mom's side of the story? Weirdo. No, we've heard the mom's side of the story, by the way. We saw her yelling at the top of her lungs at her 25-year-old daughter. Is that not a good? That's not a good enough story for you? Someone said, honestly speaking, Daddy Freeze is doing a great job. I learned today. The truth is that African children are raised in fear. That's a fact. For a lot of African children, not all. I wasn't, but I saw it. Okay, by their parents, most especially in religion aspects. Myself facing a lot about this issue. Someone just needs to be brave and more courageous about life. Somebody said, great work, Daddy Freeze, but I think you should have invited one person to this conversation. No, it's not necessary. It's a show. It's not that deep. It's a show. Okay. If there's a conversation going on, that's good enough. Just like this one. This is not a therapy session. It's not a coaching session. If you get value out of it, I appreciate when people tell me that. But this is a show at the end of the day. It's on YouTube, okay? Jesus is the name of the first ship that transported slaves from Africa. Lobata. Another angle. Another angle. Anyway, we're just going to keep it to time today. But let me come to the chat. Pardon my manners. Shout out to everybody in the chat. Shout out to OJA, Mo Fresh. She says, please do. You made a lot of great points yesterday when you joined live. Oh, she wanted to join? If you want to join quick now. I can only do extra 5 minutes today. That's it. That's it. That's why I dropped the link 30 minutes ago. Okay. She has a whole lot of work cut out for her. Yeah. You know it, Chinye. We already heard from the mom from the videos. Exactly. Don't mind them. Religion was absolutely used as a tool. Exactly. Like that's the reality of the world you live in. That's why I come here to also teach power, not just relationship, kumbaya, you are right, you're wrong. That's nonsense. When you're talking about power, no one cares. That's the reality. Nobody cares about anything outside of their own feelings. That's the reality you're dealing with, including your mother. Sometimes they get caught up in their feelings. They are willing to slap you and make you apologize for it. Right? Is that right or wrong? Who cares? We can do better. We know that that's not creating a good result, so we can do better, right? Without judging. The reason why I said who cares, that we don't need to judge the persons, because these are people you're in relationship with. So judging them does not really do you any good, right? In real life, of course, you know. You too, the Lala, you want me to play that one? So you like that one better, you see?
Abba, the lie, sabi lie.
What? Him trying to convince you already gave his ass away. Any heterosexual man doesn't even want to even imagine that in their head. Talk less of actually. What did I miss? That missed something. Oh, this part. He had been talking about his best friend, admitted they sing to each other on the phone. He tried to convince me, a man getting oral from Jesus Christ. I'm done. I'm moving on forward, straight forward. We're facing forward. It explained why his wife, who was obsessed with marriage and snagging an investor, left 15 months in and 6 months after having a baby. You see, anyway. Listen, I hope you got some, I want to know what your thoughts are on this, because we're going to end the show right now, 7:01. Perfect, right? I want to know what your thoughts are as we're leaving today, okay? But keep in mind that when we're talking about this, it goes anywhere, dating, relationship, marriage, parenting, and all forms of relationship, even work relationships, all right? This is why I tell people to, look at this one popping in right now, last minute. Jesus Christ. Not to, why are you like this now? Even though she slept on us yesterday.
I know. I'm sorry, people. I was not feeling too well yesterday.
What's up? How are you doing?
I'm good.
Yeah.
Tell
me quickly, what are your thoughts about this so far? Tell me quickly.
Okay. So, oh my God, I want to say something about Jonathan and the chief just escaped.
I can hear you. Sound muffled. Remove the Bluetooth.
Oh, now.
Okay, better. Yep.
Okay, so going back to Jonathan Major's story, right, real quick.
Okay.
Remember when the girl was making the video and he was talking and she was kind of like nice, like, can you understand me? Yes.
Yeah.
And then it took me back to when you always say that the person making the video is always nice because they know they are recording.
It's been taped, yeah. Exactly.
So
they're on their best behavior.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So only God knows what he was doing when nothing was being taped. I can't hear you anymore.
There's manipulation going on there.
Yeah, absolutely. There's manipulations going on there, But in this, I don't think that's admissible in court, If
well,
because
I'm just saying, for people that want to judge and are looking at him with the side eye, I'm just saying, open your two eyes now. You can look both ways.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely. It was definitely the I'm a great man is all I need to hear.
Oh my, that took me off. The moment he said, I'm like, that's it.
Right. I'm a great man. I'm like, okay.
It's cool.
Sounds like you need to convince yourself a little bit more. You don't believe it.
Yeah, it's cool.
Yeah,
and then going back on Anthony O'Neill, right? I feel like that guy has some insecurity issues, honestly speaking.
It's natural. Yeah.
Because
when you're 35 and not married, it's too creeping on you.
Honestly speaking, I feel like if a man is, I don't know a man that is like secured and like have his stuff going on that does not want to see his woman win. Do you understand what we're saying? So I'm not saying because men like that, right? They'll be like, let my wife have her own going on. In case if the chips go down on my side, I know my girl is solid and I know we're good.
Right.
But it says so much about you if you're beginning to project that and saying, oh, when I just hear that boss lady, boss chick, I'm like, bro, slow down. I'm a boss lady. I'm not a boss lady in my house. I don't want to be a boss lady in my house.
Yeah. Here's the part that the ladies that are in the dating scene need to pay attention to. When something becomes a societal level and you start to see an average person complaining of the same thing, then we gotta pay attention. You know what I mean? Like,
I agree.
I agree with the core of it. As an individual, if a person wants to work on themselves, he should work on that. But now the flip side of it is that we're hearing the same complaint across the board. Then the ladies that are in the dating scene, if they're dating with intention, they have to pay a little bit more attention beyond just, oh, this is an insecure man. Just pay attention to that. Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah. It's tricky, Sha. It's tricky.
It is. It is, but
because an insecure man will show you shigeo.
Real same. Oh, so just out there, you guys don't be scared of boss ladies, okay?
Yeah.
We're just trying to hold it out there, not in the house.
Yeah. Yep.
And then going back to this girl and Daddy Freeze.
Right. Fine.
It says a lot, honestly speaking. There's so much going on in that whole video that was made. And like you analyzed it, you did it well. Somebody said in the comment section, right? Is she doing this for clout? Because she mentioned something like a spiritual coach.
Right,
and
she's
now,
is in her bio. She's a spiritual coach, she says.
And now that takes us to why the mother was screaming. Do you understand what I'm saying? It's just an African parent for you to wake up and your child tells you I'm a gay. They were like, I will beat the agege out of your body today.
I know.
Because it's not like they will have done it. They can't do it the other way, but that's the only thing that they know.
Right. Yeah. That's just what they know. This is why I don't want to judge the mom.
Right.
That's just what she knows.
And if you remember yesterday, I was telling you guys, I said, when me and my mom started, we didn't start on a good note when I was a teenager. I didn't like my mom. I didn't like my mom. And if I was in a shoe like this girl, I would say the same thing. But
right, because she was the bad cop, right? She was the bad cop in the house.
Yeah. And as I began to grow older, I was beginning to realize that there was so much I was doing that was telling. You understand what I'm saying?
Right.
So the moment I started giving my parents grace, I was beginning to understand them better. And I can call my mom and talk to her about anything. I'll call my mom and talk for like 4 hours. You understand what I'm saying? So, yeah, there's a lot going on in that picture. Like the girl said, there's so much like resentment built up.
Yeah.
You know?
Against not just her mother and her father, but anybody that has hurt her. She went through a phase where she had to forgive them.
Yes. And this is where we're talking about being self-aware. You have to forgive yourself. And forgiveness, right? Forgiveness in a nutshell is not just forgiving that person that offends you. If you are if you decide to forgive somebody that offends you, you're doing yourself a huge favor than you're doing the person.
Absolutely.
Because you're relieving yourself of that. I don't even know the right word to use, if it's stress or whatever. So she has a lot of work to do on herself. She should just leave her parent out of the picture for now. Go work on yourself.
Yeah, like me as an individual in this society where humans are not perfect.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
What do I do with this blessing of life? What do I do with this?
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. You just have to get to a point where you just take people, you don't take everything too serious. Your mom saying that this in the name of Jesus, you just say amen, mommy, and leave her alone.
Amen. Me, I receive all types of prayer. If it's not outright, you are cursing me and my destiny. I'll just say amen. If you say in Jesus' name, in Allah's name, in as long as it's the content of it is goodness for me.
I remember when I was sick, my friend's son, she's a Muslim. He begged to go to the mosque so that he will pray for me. Even when they call me and they're doing the prayer on the phone, I'll just be saying amen, even when I don't know what they're saying. Do you understand what I'm saying? So you just say,
but you kind of feel that this prayer that's going on. So
of course,
how bad could it be? Yeah.
So if she had been self-aware, what she would have done is just give the mom a little time to bring the mom into her space, to be able to see what she's doing, to make the mom understand what she's saying. Because yesterday I judged the mom too when she said, I am not religious, I'm spiritual. I'm like, the mom needs to come down and ask her what's the meaning of the spiritual that she meant. But I want to believe the mom has seen a couple of things already. And that's what triggered her and made her react that way.
Well, so, if I'll tell you, my father, you guys met. The first time I told him, we were having a conversation, and it was some kind of difference between religion and spirituality. I forgot what the full context was, but I know that I am more of a person who is connected spiritually more than religion. Is just that. It's human behavior, as far as I'm concerned. It's just human behavior, and religion has nothing to do with God, as far as I'm concerned. So, but the first time he heard me say that, it triggered him. You know, it triggered him. But I understand, because there's context. Just because somebody, that's why I'm telling people, like, if you use the word therapy after you said a bunch of stuff that's wrong, you're wrong. I don't care. The word it's not the words. A lot of people are stuck on words, but the experience we're having, The experience we are creating for other people around us is really what matters, which you can't really put into words. It's a feeling. People want to be around you or they don't want to be around you. That's what we're paying attention to. You can use all the best words in the word. You can even say Jesus, 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 but everybody say like, this person, you're an evil person. What do you want us to go with? The words that are coming out of your mouth or the experience that people are having?
Yeah. And you know another thing, I feel like the girl is she's suffering from the firstborn syndrome.
Yeah. That is a big deal.
Yeah. So a lot of African parents have been guilty of that. It's a lot of weight. You remember there was a video of a lady that was going around that she was crying that because she just felt like she didn't have a childhood. So she just moved from being a baby to an adult like overnight.
Right.
So
and that is something. I'm a firstborn. That's something that firstborns go through at some level. But we only get to point fingers at that when other things are messy. We're looking for things to point fingers at, right?
Right.
And that could be some middle children have their own point of contention. They say, I'm a middle child. Nobody ever pay attention to me.
That was what I said when I was with my mom.
Exactly. But because you will find every individual, every human being, if you look around you long enough, you find something to blame, right?
Yeah.
But and doesn't mean you're wrong. It just means I'm just letting you know that blame game can help you short term. You feel better now, but in the long run, you need to do the work. Either you're a middle person or middleman or middle or first, it doesn't matter. You're a human being here, and you have a bunch of people around you that are not perfect, right? And you need to learn how to use that to the best of your ability to become a source of blessing to other people. And yours will be taken care of, right? You know, Zig Ziglar has a quote out there: you help other people get what they want, and you will get what you want. If you just help more people get what they want, and this is the reality about any of our greats, from Jesus to Buddha to whatever.
Let me tell you. So there's this lady last year that my foundation helped her to get free chemo, and we paid for her surgery. So because of that, like this year when we're doing an event, I told her, I said I wanted a video. This lady told me she said I don't like going in, I don't like talking in front of people. But because of that second chance that she got, that lady she said, anywhere you want me to go and speak about this thing, I will go and talk about it for you. Just tell me what to do. So the fact that we're able to help her to get that, now if we need anything that will have to benefit the foundation, she was like, I'm ready to go for it. And which is not her normal person. But lastly, what I would have appreciated from that girl that went on the Daddy Free show, first of all, what took her butt to the Daddy Free show? That's number one. Number two,
said what?
What took her butt to the Daddy Free show?
Oh, Daddy Free's probably invited her.
I know.
If Daddy Free invites anybody, they will answer at this point.
I'm just being sarcastic.
Okay,
but
all right.
Number
but
two,
you're talking about what's the motive? Like, that's what you're saying.
Exactly.
Right. Clouds now. I think this is what happened with regards to that. I think she got in the middle of somewhere and she noticed all this attention she's getting. And she's like, I'm gonna flip it.
Yeah.
Right? And that's what she's trying to do right now, flip it. But she go collect for that.
Guess what? I was about to see, you took it out of my mouth. I was gonna say it's gonna backfire on her.
Yeah, it's gonna backfire.
It will backfire on her. But another thing I would have appreciated if she had gone on that show and wants to clear the story. If I were her, right, I would give my mother's version of what my mother did after was wrong. I will also tell my own side of the things that I think I contributed to that I know was wrong. But,
I mean, she said, tell me if this is enough or not. She said, I resented anybody that's ever hurt me, and I had my baby, and I had an epiphany. I felt like I needed to start forgiving people, right?
No, she didn't.
She did. She said that.
She said it, but she did not. Because if she has forgiven, she's not gonna get to this stage.
No, she said she needed to forgive. She didn't say she said she forgave for a minute. If she was holding, I would say she was holding herself accountable, but she wasn't trying to paint herself as good either. That's my point. You know, did you watch the whole video yet?
I watched it with you, but
okay, yeah. I'm still gonna go watch the whole thing too. That was just that 5 minutes that I grabbed out of it. You know.
So, my own story is. Let me give you a short story before I leave. Sure. One of my sisters, right? She is daddy's girl. She doesn't have nothing to do with mommy. Listen, that's
she said more. She's more of a daddy's girl than you.
Well, she in court she was supposed to be before I overtook her. When I gave my parents grace, and then we started all our love relationship, and I took over everybody.
Oh,
No,
okay.
I'm not. Yeah, and I took over. So
You became better at it than them.
Yes.
Okay.
So what happened was that when we were growing up, we weren't taking it easy with our mom. So we felt like our mom was being too harsh. She had 4 girls. Do you understand what I'm saying? So our mom.
Oh, definitely. You guys showed that woman shaggy. Jesus Christ, 4 girls. Oh my God.
Yeah. So she was being overly protective. So, but when my twin sister when she got pregnant, had her first son.
Mm-hmm.
When you want to say somebody decided to forgive their parents and work on it, that was my twin sister. From that time, she had my nephew till today. Their relationship keep getting better and better and better, which they didn't have before.
Right.
Like,
children would do that to you, though. Being a mother can do that to you, right?
That's why I was saying this lady did not, because from our sister, she took everything that has happened and threw it out of the window and started afresh. And they became like, my mom still can't get over it. She's like, I can't believe this is my girl. Like, now. So if you decide to forgive, you're not going to bring it back. You just have to learn to let it go.
Yeah.
So,
That's what life and death will do that to you. Life and death will do that to you. Life and death will change, will transform your like everything about you. You know. And that's why I tell people, calm down. Don't wait until life and death before you can also decide now. Like, why you want to wait? You know.
That is true, because death does not have a timetable.
Yeah.
So if you're taking all your sweet time, you're just gonna wake up and not find that person.
Too late.
Yeah.
You know.
And then before I go, everybody on this platform, I need you to go to Dear Future Wifey's page and tag MOP and ask Lateras to interview MOP. Please, I beg you guys.
Yay. Dear Future, let me even see if anybody has tagged me anywhere. Do it on YouTube. Do it on YouTube, guys.
Do it on YouTube and do it on his Instagram page, please.
I have a bad habit of not checking my tags, my mentions. I don't check them.
Yeah. Check on, do it on both. Do it on Instagram and do it on YouTube, please. Just tag him and tell him that he needs to interview Ola to hear more about their second chance story, blah blah blah. Because they did.
That would be lovely. Thank you so much, Natu. Thank you so much. I'm gonna we're supposed to set some kind of promotion in motion too, some kind of campaign in motion to solicit for stuff like that. But we'll get to that at some point. But yeah,
if you guys can give us super chat, please go and do that or drop your super chat offering time.
Bio. Anytime you can always drop your support here at any point in time, even when you're watching replay. D is always very good at that. She will watch a replay and she will actually hit the $sign. I'll see randomly. You're like, whoa. It feels good anytime that happens. Just so you know. Yeah, this month we set our goal very low this month to $200, and yet we're doing very low. Maybe I should stop talking about it. But
no,
thanks for teaching me. Now we're up to $65, which I appreciate regardless. That's from last time, $61. But we're only on the 13th of the month, so no, we're not complaining.
We still have time.
Yeah, we're here. Thank you, Jerry. Not to appreciate
no problem,
you. All right, we'll talk soon. All right, everyone. I appreciate you for being here today. Hopefully, you've been enlightened and educated. Okay. I'll see you on the next one. Peace.
Beautiful girl, spoiling I find a beautiful girl.
It's your love that I've been missing. I miss all your hugs, your touching and kissing. Make love on the floor, the couch in the kitchen. One love enough, we done enough.